making Bilo Bilo. Ginataang Bilo Bilo. What does Bilo Bilo mean, Hanan?
Circle.
Circles. So this video is dedicated to our lovely Camille. This is a video that I promised I would make her, and it's been a while, but today we're going to be making Bilo Bilo for the holidays. We already made a first batch for Christmas. Now we're going to make one for New Year's. We're making one for New Year's.
Is it New Year's?
New Year's in about 2 days.
Oh, 2 days?
New Year's. So we say Manigong Bagong Taon. Can you say Manigong Bagong Taon?
Manibayang bagong taon.
Manigong.
Maliga.
No, Maligayang Pasko is different. That's Merry Christmas. And then we say Manigong Bagong Taon. Bagong means new. Taon means year. So we all together we say Manigong.
Manigong.
Bagong.
Bagong
Taon.
taon.
Yeah, so that's how we say it in Tagalog. So here what we have, Hanan. What colors do we have? Some colors here. So Hannah wanted to make some pink.
Pink.
So we have red food coloring. She wanted orange. Then we have ube, which we got last time, but Hannah didn't want it this time. But you can get ube extract and makes it a nice. What color? Ube is what color?
Purple.
Purple. So we can make a purple one. And then we have buko pandan, which is green. And it smells so nice. We have some golden yellow sugar that we're going to put
I want to
also.
eat it.
We have a can of coconut milk. And we have some glutinous flour, glutinous rice flour. And this is very important because it gives us a nice chewy and sticky texture. We have some very ripened plantain. And you're supposed to put sweet potato, but I just have these potatoes. I'm not actually gonna put them in there. Hannah just picks them out anyway. But you can chop them up into cubes and then cook them together. So I have a kind of unconventional way of cooking all these ingredients.
I'm gonna get a knife so I can chop the tomatoes.
Potatoes. We're gonna start off making the 3 colors that Hannah wants. Pink, green, and red, and yellow make orange, yeah. And then we're going to mix it with
red make
this and put in 3 different bowls. So these are the colored ones. So each, we're just gonna put a little bit of water and mix the color. Okay? Yeah, you can blow that there. So Hannah, do you want to pour a little bit? A little bit. Yeah, just a few drops. A few drops can go a long way. Okay, I'm going to ask you to put the red one in 2 of these. Okay. You put the, and if you hear that sound, I'm actually steaming suman. So my pressure cooker is going. Okay, you can put a few drops in here and in here. Thank you. That's enough. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Thank you. So that one I'm going to make the pink one. It might actually turn red now, honey, because you put a lot. And the yellow one I'll put it because I'm going to put water. I'll put it because I add water.
I'll put water.
You want to put the water? You can't put too much water.
No, I don't want to put too much.
Okay, so do you want me to do it then? Okay. And you hold it with me. Okay, there.
Pink. Pink, my favorite.
Just a little bit of water. We'll just start off with a little bit of water, and then we'll put the powder in, because what ends up happening is that when we put too much water, it becomes goopy, and we can't do Bilo Bilo with goopy. It has to be a nice dough. So I'll just show you a few what we've done here. So I just put red and red here. Hanan put red, and we put some water and some green. We'll mix it up. We'll put the glutinous flour. I'm going to take my time putting the yellow because
I'll put it.
because we might not get our yellow color. Hanan put a lot of, we might not be able to get our orange color because Hanan put a lot of red. Too much red. Yeah, we might just, yeah, well, it's starting to look like an orange. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of turning into an orange, kind of. But you can kind of see it on the spoon. Well, we probably need to put a little bit more yellow. We have our glutinous flour, and I just kind of like, I'm not measuring anything. This is my recipe of just like throwing it all in. But you should probably follow our recipe. I'll try to put some measurements in there. Okay. Because like I've always been just trying to test it out with the consistency. I never just get it correct the first time. There's probably some better lolas that have better recipes, but I just kind of mix it and see what I get, and then I just kind of do it until consistency. So look, Hanan's already mixing. So this is what we get. Hanan wants these colors. Okay, it's already starting to turn like an orange. This one's like a pink Hanan wanted, and the green, the buko pandan. We're making bilo bilo. I'm excited.
It's big. I'll do the green one.
You'll do the green one? Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more flour. Okay, our aprons protect us from too much dirt on our clothes.
How about
Maybe we'll put a bit more green. What do you think? You want more green in there? Okay, so we've been working on the on making the dough. So this is what we have right now.
I'm working on the orange.
You're working on the orange. Yeah. So do you see this? It's the consistency is quite. It's a dough. So that when you take it, you pinch it, you can make you roll it in your fingers like that. So that's the kind of consistency you want. You see? And then you make a little plum. You see that?
Nice. So hard.
So we're going to get a plate for all of them because we've got our pink one that's ready. And it can feel a bit tough. You just need to, in order to get the right consistency so that you can pinch it and make the small ball. This is going to be a nice soft ball. Then we have to put a little bit more water or a little bit more glutinous rice flour. So you just gotta keep stirring. That's what took us a good maybe, I don't know, like 15 minutes. 5-10 minutes can be your max if you really know what you're doing. Okay? We're going to just have our platters ready. We have just like these wooden ones that are actually from the Philippines, I believe. One of them. We got them at Value Village.
From the Philippines.
Yeah, I love
Look,
cookies.
this is a little worm.
So we're going. Hana's making a worm. We'll make the bilo bilo.
I'll do the worm with the orange and the pink.
So when we're making the bilo bilo and we have the dough at a right consistency, we just have to pinch it. You pinch it just enough to get enough on our fingers. Sometimes you can make them big or small. You put them in the middle of your hand and you roll it. Make circle motions with your hands, and then you got a little one, and then we can put it right on. And when you put them down, what people do, I think my mom would do, she would dust it with some glutinous flour, but for me, I think it's okay just to kind of leave it like that. It's still, they all just kind of turn out the same way. So we pinch and we roll. And Hanan's been helping me do this since she was like maybe 2 years old when she kind of got her hands and everything. Well, maybe 1. When she was 1 year old, Hanan would just play with the dough. And 2 years old, she would also play with the dough. By the time when she was 3 years old, she started kind of making them, and then she got all excited when she made her own little shapes. And then we just cook it anyway. And the way you would cook these is you would boil water. And while it's boiling, you gently put these, and we'll show a little video of that as well. So we just keep making our balls, our bilo bilo, mga bilo bilo, and you can make them the shape that you want. Usually I try to keep them consistent. So when I place them down, I also keep them separate because then they could stick. You see? So we keep them separated so that so when you put them into the boiling water, then you can have a nice chewy ball instead of like several balls that are just all stuck together. It's not a bilo bilo anymore. Okay, so we'll just keep on working on these. And Hanan is making them about the same size. And it's always nice to have a basahan, you call it, or a wet rag, you know, just on the side, just to kind of clean off your fingers. When we're working with different colors, sometimes the colors can mix. So it's nice to kind of reset our hands and wipe them a bit so that when we work on the next color, we're not mixing the colors. If we mix too many colors, they can turn like a muddy brown. But we can also be creative and make different colors, different rainbow bilo bilo. Bahaghari. Rainbow. The traditional colors that we usually find in the bilo bilo are according to the taste. So one of my good friends, JJ, she introduced me to putting anise, grinding up anise, and then putting them into the white bilo bilo to give it a different flavor. Yeah.
I want two mothers.
You want two mothers? My baby Ruby? Oh, you have Nanay JJ.
Let's start with the green.
Also.
Let's do this one too.
Yeah. So I just finished doing the orange one. Done. And these make about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 35. Each color probably. So that's gonna give us a good 105. Bilo bilo if we have those 3 flavors. But Hanan's making some worms, so we might not get as many. So it doesn't matter. That's about, I would say, maybe a good 3/4. You get that from about 3/4 to a cup of glutinous flour. And then the rest, the amount, I think my mom told me it was like a 1-to-1 ratio of water and glutinous rice flour. So I'm on to the pink ones. These are 2 of Hanan's favorite colors, orange and pink. Hanan is the goddess of the sun. Morning sun.
I the goddess.
So this is Hanan's making
Worms.
So you can be creative with this. Add your own Filipino diaspora dessert flair.
It's so sweet that I'm making worms.
Yeah.
I'll eat that.
Yeah, you keep working on that. And in the meantime, I'm going to start getting the pot of hot water ready. We are also going to be adding these tapioca. So this is tapioca pearl. It's different for what you use for the boba tea. Well, the same concept. So that's a little smaller one. And we use tapioca pearl. And you can see the bag isn't completely full because I've used it already. So these are the bigger balls. These are the different sizes, the smaller one and the big one. So I'm going to start putting these into hot water. And it takes some time for the bigger one especially to boil. So I'm going to start with that first while we continue to make our bilo bilo. So here we are. We're going to be cutting some of our plantain. So this is our plantain. We just took off the stickers, and these are really ripe. They don't usually come as brown or black. But we're going to open them up. And I also have potatoes, but I'm gonna use these for cooking later. But what you want to get is sweet potatoes. So they come in colors like orange, and there's also a white sweet potato. You can also put ube or taro, gabi. So these are the different kind of vegetables that you could put. So Hanan wants to use the butter knife, which is safer, or we have this wooden chopper for kids, and it's not sharp, so it's easy for them to be able to cut. So I start cutting off the ends and start peeling them. What my mother used to do is she would just cut out the seeds. I don't mind the seeds. The seeds are okay to stay in. At least we know that they're plantain. And Hanan, she likes to pick them out, so it's easy to distinguish which ones are the plantain. I put them in there because the adults like to eat it.
Yeah,
so this is what yeah, you like eating plantain? This is what the plantain looks like. Oops. And slippery. And Hannah's been trying to take it off. Can you peel it?
Yeah.
It's a little tough, but oh, it smells sweet. When we like them a little bit darker, because that means that when they're ripened or overripe, that means that they're soft and sweet.
Can you do this for me?
Sure, I can do that for you. Let me just remove a little bit here as well. Yeah, so it's a little tough for Hanan. She's got 4-year-old strength, enough to do half. And you can ask the adults to help you peel it all off. Yeah, so this is what we have here. So we're going to cut these into small cube slices. I've got a knife here. And you want to be careful with knives because they can be quite dangerous for little kids. So I just kind of cut them through into smaller pieces. Cut it in half, and you see there's the seeds inside. I just leave them in. I don't mind them being there. My mother would cut them out. She was very meticulous with that. So I cut them into pieces like this. These are kind of a quarter of a slice. Okay, so if we take a look here. So if I just take this, I just cut it in half. And then I cut that section in half again. There's no...
I cut it into small pieces.
Great. So you see how Hanan has done it. She's kind of made these pieces. And this is where I like to get creative with the kids. You know, giving them age-appropriate tools. And letting them just kind of cut the way they want. Since it's in our home and we're not serving it to anyone, we're just going to cut it and cook it as they are. You want to be able to throw these into the slurry of coconut milk and sugar that we're going to show you how to do later, which is really fun. Or what my mother has done in the past is that she would cook these first in a pot of boiling water, and then once it's cooked, she'd set it aside. She would throw it into the pot of coconut milk and sugar and a bit of water. Yeah, we're going to do that later. So we're going to finish cutting these, and then we're going to set them aside. I've got the pot of tapioca, the large pearls that are boiling right now. And you want them to start earlier than the rest of the ingredients because it takes a little longer for them to get ready. So once these are done, you can put them into the pot. You want to do the same thing for the potatoes. And just be careful with our knives. I'm using this as a little shovel, but you want to be careful with
Slippery.
edges. So I've got my potato, and I'm not going to use this type of potato. This is a red potato, I just peeled it. Potato.
I need a napkin. I want to cut it.
You want to cut it? Here, you can cut this part, the smaller part.
It looks like
Yeah,
an apple.
like a little apple. is gonna be such a delicious Ginataang Bilo Bilo. I'm really excited. And we're gonna cut these into small pieces as well.
I'll just
So same
break
thing.
them.
You can, well, it's gonna be hard to break some with your fingers. So I just kind of put around similar size. You kind of want them around the similar size. Just bite size so that you can eat them and just have a nice yummy spoonful of coconut milk and plantain and bilo bilo and sago. Fun little fun dessert to make. A lot of steps, but when it comes together, it's just delicious. It's one of my favorite things to do during the holidays. Just grab this potato. We're gonna finish chopping these up, and then we're gonna move to the kitchen and start boiling the water to start cooking the different ingredients: the plantain, the potato, the tapioca, large and small pearls, and the bilo bilo. Yeah. Hi, so welcome to the kitchen. Right now we've got some hot water that's boiling. What we're going to do is we're going to start putting our bilo bilo in there. Okay, this is what Hanan and I rolled. It's not your conventional colors, but these are the ones she requested. So per the children's request, I put some orange and pink, which are her favorite colors, as well as the green, which is the green one is actually with the buko pandan. So these are the ones that we're going to be doing. We would also put potatoes or sweet potatoes, but I don't have any. But we'll be putting some plantain and then more tapioca pearl. So these are the small ones. I already have some of the big ones going. They're actually in a container with hot water, in a bowl of hot water here. So we're gonna let that soak so that it doesn't, so that I can really soak the water. So this is how we're going to do it. Basically for the bilo bilo, I would have the water going at a rolling boil. You kind of stop because I opened the water. And then I would just place these in once it boils. And I would take my strainer spoon and scoop it out. You need to be ready with another container, and over here I have another bowl that I'm just going to put the bilo bilo in once they're ready. And you'll know they're ready when they start rising to the top. It takes maybe 30 seconds to a minute, not even. Sometimes I leave and come back and you know they're already floating to the top. I really don't need to be gone that long. So as this is boiling, we put it in. So I would just put it in, you know, I could do it one by one or several at a time. And sometimes I would do color by color, but in this case, I'll just throw them all in. It really doesn't matter how you do it. So you see how I'm just gently putting them in. If you go from too high, you'll splash yourself. So you want to be very careful with that. So Hanan decided not to help me for this one, and since we're in the kitchen and it's quite dangerous for her, sometimes I'll just have her sit over here so the spot is ready for her when she's ready and she wants to come and join us. So this is what it looks like close up, and we've got Hanan who's waiting. And when it boils, and they start to float to the top, that's when you know you're ready. So I'll just do those for now. In the meantime, while this is going, I have another pot here, an empty pot, which I'm going to put some water, and I'm going to put the sugar and a can of coconut milk. So I've got my can of coconut milk here. I already opened it. I'm going to be careful with the size. Yes, Hanan? So in this pot, I don't want it too high. I'm going to put it to about 5, medium. I'll eventually bring it up I put about a cup or two of water. I put hot water just to kind of get it going. I want it nice and hot. Then I pour my coconut milk, can of coconut milk in there. And I got my trusty spoon here. I just like to scrape off the sides and the pan. So we've got these that are floating to the top. Right now I've got my coconut milk and water at about 5 or medium heat. Yeah, so since those are floating to the top now, I'm going to scoop them out and then put them in the container here. Put them in another bowl. And then you do it again. Once those are all ready, then you can start adding your other ingredients like the plantain. So we got this going again. We still got a rolling boil. Gently throw them in. And you do this one until all of them are done. Now the colors are in there. Normally I do like a purple for ube, green with buko pandan, or white. And I put anise in it. That's a great idea I had from one of my Nanay friends. Thank you, Nanay JJ. Shout out to her. So once those are all in, wait for them to boil. It also depends on how big your pot is. If you have a bigger pot, then you can put it in. But I don't find it's very useful because you're going to scoop them out anyway. Just give them a good turn. So this is what they look like when they're all done. They're so chewy. I got some orange and pink in there. This is the orange one. Yeah. Sometimes I eat them. And Hanan has some extras that she made here. She made some worms. Which is fine. I just let her be creative. It's like Play-Doh. I'm gonna cook them up and then give them to her as a snack. So here we have the coconut milk. I've got some brown sugar, which I'm just gonna add in. Just put it in there and stir. You can put as much sugar as you want. I like to put a little less than a cup. And ideally you would use white sugar, just if you want to keep the white consistency, but I don't have white sugar right now, so I'm just going to just let it do the brown because that's all I got. And that's fine. And you let that boil through. And once it gets to a rolling boil, then you can start to add your other ingredients in. Like this bilo bilo that's ready. So once it gets to the top, that's what you gotta do. You just gotta lift it and pour it into your container. This is a strainer spoon, so it's got little holes in it that lets the water pass right through. You can also just use a normal spoon, it's fine. So while that's going, we can even start putting other ingredients inside. I like to put in the plantain. So in that goes. Pushing it in. And it'll cook, it'll all just cook together. That's what I love about this. There's even some big chunks down. I didn't even see her do this. Okay. She takes them out anyway. She doesn't even eat them. I try to force her because it's a good vegetable. It's a good vegetable. It's a good food. Plantain is healthy for you. So this one is going to be sweet. So I also have some of the small tapioca pearls. And you can cook this separate as well in the small pot. But then it'll just, it'll just thicken up the water because of the starch, and then you throw it in. But I like my Ginataang Bilo Bilo very like creamy. So this adds to the creaminess, the starch inside of the tapioca pearl, and it's not bad or anything. It's not like dirty or anything, you know. It's not like you wash it and then. So yeah, you can just throw it in. Which is what I do. I just throw it in there. So this is about maybe a half cup of the small tapioca pearl, and they come in different colors too. They can come in like multicolor. I've seen my mother use like a pink, green, yellow combination, purple, clear, transparent. So, you know, these white ones are gonna become transparent, and if you notice from the bigger ones, so this is what it looks like. So it's got a layer of like a transparent jelliness, and then inside is still white. So this was initially all white, so now it's just going to absorb the water. So it'll continue to cook while it's in here. So we're putting all of that in there. Put this away here. It's already smelling so good. I've got the Bilo Bilo here that's already ready. That's going in. It's all gonna taste the same. It's just food coloring. It's just a different color. I just know that she's going to take out all the plantain and all the sweet potato, and then just go after the Bilo Bilo. So this is what it looks like when it's together. I put a lot of plantain in there because we had a lot of plantain left. We got some Bilo Bilo floating in there. We got some of the white transparent. Once it starts to boil, it's just going to thicken up, and it's gonna be delicious anyway. We're gonna have a nice Bilo Bilo, nice Ginataang. And Ginataang comes from the root word is gata, which means milk. So for the coconut milk. Gata, Ginataang. So they milk it and putting milk with it, you know. This is like one of my favorite things to cook during the holidays. Or any like special occasion. I just love putting all the work into it, and it's just fun to have Hanan be part of the process too. She likes making them. And it's very tactile, so I enjoy like helping her learn her numbers and helping her to create things and be creative. I also really like when we make the Bilo Bilo, we count them together. We count in English, French, and Tagalog, and Bisaya up till 10. So it's fun, you know. It's a great way to learn and to bond. Because bonding around food, I think that in every culture is just so essential, especially when we pass on the knowledge to our young ones. So I'm just going to leave this to cook up and to thicken on its own. So I have it right now at about 3.5, and that's going to go. And then Hanan's worms are starting to show up to the surface, and this is what they look like. Hanan's worms, and they float to the top. So I'm gonna give that to her. I just wanted to make that. She used to give me, like when she was like maybe 3 years old, she used to make chunks, like big, small, and be like, "That's the Bilo Bilo." The practicing, the tactile, the tactile motions with the hands and with the dough, the colored dough, and when you make it bright and colorful, they really love that. Kids love it. Alright, so this is gonna go into my bowl. So fun. Yeah. So we've got this going, it's boiling. I have it at about 3. We're gonna stir that now. Ah, it smells so good. So So you want to stir this often, because then if not, then the coconut milk can burn. And there have been several times where my mother has burned them. We ate it anyway, but then you see like pieces of black cooked up burned potato or bilo that would start floating, and then you can smell and taste the burning parts. So it's not fun. You want to keep stirring every few moments. See it boil a little bit. When you start to smell burning, it's a bit late. It's a bit too late. It's been boiling now, so it's not as watery. It's starting to thicken up. So I've got my big spoon, my big wooden spoon, and I can feel that the bottom's kind of sticking a bit. And you want to scrape the bottoms, because if they stay sticking at the bottom, those parts of the coconut milk are going to burn. We don't want that. So yeah, you just keep stirring it, and you want to keep stirring under the bottom of stirring the bottom of the pot. Whatever stays there is going to rise up, and if it's burned, it affects the taste. Yeah, so it's already really thickening up now. Whoa, that didn't take long. Yeah, so it's already much thicker. This is how I like it. So yeah, you just keep going, and I think this will be done. I think the way that I enjoy it is like stirring occasionally for the next half. And then wait, stirring occasionally for the next half hour or so. Yeah. You can do it on low as long as you have like a slow rolling boil. It'll be fine. So delicious. So we did it! We made the bilo bilo! And we're gonna eat it. So before I get to like enjoy it, Hanan is already digging in. You want it to cool down before you serve it to the little ones because it can get quite hot. So this is your Ginataang Bilo Bilo, the rainbow Ginataang Bilo Bilo with all the different colors as you choose. And as Hanan likes to choose the orange ones, pink ones, and the green ones. So yeah, enjoy. It's a really fun recipe to do with the little ones, especially in preparing all the different ingredients. Alright, I hope that was really helpful, and I hope Camille you learned something new and that you can make some Ginataang Bilo Bilo for the little ones. Bye! Love you!